What's going on, guys? Blazing here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and thank you for joining me on another Raid Shadowlands video. Today, guys, I want to talk to you about the king of arena nukers, and no, it is not Taras. Taras only stands second best to this guy. He has been nerfed 3 times. He was hard nerfed, actually, when Ultimate Death Knight came into the game. We are talking about Rotos, right? Rotos is the #1 arena nuker in the game. Not by far none. No one can touch him. There are second best. There are champions that can do good in arena, but Rotos just takes it all, right? If you have him properly built, he will basically one shot the whole team. He can take the whole team on, and it has been done. He is that one champion that you go in, especially in live arena, and you look at him and you say, "Nope, I'm taking you out. I don't care who the other nukers are," because he can just overpower and overwhelm you and just take you out, right? Let's talk about his kit a little bit. A1 attacks 75% chance, attacks one enemy, 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense for 2 turns. Also has a 25% chance of granting an extra turn, right? Players will abuse this as much as possible and kind of pray to the RNG Jesus to get that extra turn, right? Damage is based off of HP and attack, right? Which you'll see coming up later on in the builds, that both of these come into play quite a bit. HP actually does work well for him. We do have 4 books that we put in, and we gain an extra 20% damage on it. The A2, right? It's a 3-turn cooldown, books down to a 2-turn cooldown with 4 books. You really want to book them. You're not going to shy away from books, right? Attacks one enemy, destroys the target's max HP by 20%, and then adds it to this champion's own max HP, right? So you're basically taking it away from them, adding it onto you, making yourself a little more survivability, or giving yourself a little more survivability. We cannot destroy the single champion's max HP more than 60%, right? In one battle. Cannot increase this champion's max HP more than 60,000. That's insane. I've seen a lot of people building their Rotoses with 60, 70, 80,000 HP, ignoring some attack, and then, never being able to be one-shot, but still being tanky as all hell. I've seen some of them after this buff goes in, 120, 130,000 HP, which is insane, guys. Now, destroys the max HP of bosses by 30% instead of 60, which is fine. Damage inflicted instead. Increases this champion's HP by 1,500 instead when used against bosses, right? So the A2 is very powerful. It's on a 2-turn cooldown. Very, very powerful. Now we have the A3. Attacks one enemy, will ignore 60% of the target's defense. So between that and Savage and Helm Smasher, they don't stand a chance, right? Will also ignore unkillable and block damage. So Skull Crowns, Leoriuses, Helicaths, whatever you got is not going to help you. This guy is just going to demolish it, right? Enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived if this champion has gained the maximum amount of HP from his A2, right? Grants an extra turn if this champion kills an enemy, again, based on attack and HP. And it is down to a 3-turn cooldown, sorry, with 5 books. So you're going to see, we're going to really abuse the A2 and the A3. And a common problem, or a common thing I see, is people open up with Rotos' A3, which is not really ideal, right? Everybody's still got the reaction procs, everybody's still got stone skins. You honestly want to open up with the A2. And you'll see why as we go into the gameplay footage. We're going to do some live arena, and we're going to do some plat arena. You don't really want to use him in PvE content. You want to use him in PvP. Not that he wouldn't do great in PvE content. He does work well, actually, in a lot of Doom Tower rooms and floors, but yeah, we wouldn't really use him there. So, and then his passive will decrease the damage from an enemy hit so that incoming damage from a single hit will not exceed more than 50% of this champion's max HP. Grants an extra turn if this damage reduction occurs. So if he takes 50% damage of his HP, he is going to basically come back out and let loose, which is ideally why you want to have him open up with the A2, so that when their nukers go, right, they're going to take him down to 50%, unless they have like a double hitter, which then, if you don't have him built properly, you're going to, get one-shotted basically from a 2 hit. But that's when you open back up with the A2 or the A3 and then back into the A2 to kind of give yourself some more HP. Decreases the damage taken from bosses by 15%. on damage taken from bosses by 30 if Sifi the Lost Bride is on the team, right? So obviously you want to pair her with him. And in my personal opinion, I think that Sifi and Rotos are way more busted than Marichka and Taras. That's just me, right? But let's get into some gameplay. All right, let's get some live arena done. Let's see if we can get a couple of matches in here with Rotos. Hopefully they don't just automatically ban him. But we got Mr. MXP. So, we'll start off. This isn't Gold Arena, so we can start off with what we want. Let's throw in. What the heck? Let's go in with our Duchess as our first pick. Let's see what we have for other legendaries. Okay, so he's going in with Duchess, Arbiter. We'll go ahead and we'll announce what we're bringing in. We'll bring in our UDK as well, too. Give him a little bit of protection, right? And then I think next we'll either maybe bring in Brogni or we'll bring in Sifi. And then I do want to bring in my, where is he? I want to bring in my, right here. Bring in the Torment, right? This is taking a little bit longer than expected, guys. Sorry, I do apologize. But Rotos, yeah, I mean, he's been nerfed multiple times. He's still the king of Arena. Let's see here. Let's bring in... Yeah, let's bring in Duchess to really fully enable him. We'll end up... sorry, CP. We'll probably end up banning the Duchess because she's the only one that's got a perfect veil. Of course, they came in with the Inithri, so we're going to ban the Inithri first, just because he will block revive us. So, all right. We'll go ahead and we'll put UDK in the lead. We don't really care about going first, right? That Trunda may get her A2 off on us, but we really don't care about the double smack, right? UDK is going to do a great job at negating everything she does. So, now I want you guys to pay close attention to how long it's going to take for us to really, really build up his passive, right? It's going to be pretty big. We'll go ahead and we'll buff up. That Stone Skin's a little cancer, but we'll have to wait it out. Trunda didn't really do much to us. If the Stone Skin wasn't there, we'd already be done with most of this fight. So let's go ahead. I want to say the worst part about Live Arena is how long it takes to get everything done. Taking all those turns. Here we go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and sleep her. Go after Necret. Play some shield buffs. Good. All right, we're going to steal some HP from Necret. Build that up, right? Give us the survivability. Okay. Sleep the Arbiter again. And yes, I know I'm using a super, super OP team. You know, it is what it is. This is what I have on my account. I just want to do a proper showcase on him, right? I want to show his full potential. So here we go. We'll take the Necret out, come back in. And now notice, I did start with the A2 first. And you always want to start with the A2 because everyone's going to have their Stone Skins. Everybody's going to have all of their reaction gear on. So you want to let all that fall off before you hit with the A3, right? The reason you want to do that is so you can build up the enemy HP, part of his passive skill, much faster, right? So we've done 2 so far. I think we'll probably need 3, maybe 4. Go ahead and we'll do that to Duchess. Let's see if we can one-touch the Arbiter. And go ahead. There we go. Okay. We'll take more HP from Necret, get him out of here. I'll give him a chance to bring it up because I really want to showcase the block revive that he brings in with his passive, right? Unfortunately, this player did not have a Taras, so go ahead, take her out. and we weren't able to, but it is what it is. You know, we did win that fight. So let's do one more real quick. Hopefully we have enough time. Okay, we got Grizzy 33. We'll probably end up picking the same team. Matter of fact, we will. Recently used first. Okay, so he's going with Mifrala. Right off the bat, we'll show our cards. Hopefully they don't ban the Rotos. Usually I try to pick something that's going to be a little more cancer to let the Rotos stay in. So let's see what is going to be kept here. Mifrala, okay, so he's planning on cleansing one of those out. You know what? Let's go ahead and bring in our Baron. Let's take out the UDK because he is going to shut down our Rotos. Okay, that's what I figured is he was going to take out the Duchess anyways. So we'll put UDK again in the lead, get that extra little bit of defensive ability so we can sustain from that first nuke. Not that we really need it, right? He is built pretty healthy. All right, so we're going to start off with the A2 on Mifrala. I feel like the Baron might have been a bad pick here because if he dies, we won't revive him. All right, let's go ahead and go. We'll use the A1 on him. There we go. All right, so now we'll use the A3 on Mifrala. Come back in. Right now we were able to use the A2 twice so far, and we're building up that HP, which is really crucial. Go ahead and sleep him. Now, even if you don't have Sifi, he's still great, right? Sifi just really enables him to not have to worry about the buffs. Or the debuffs, sorry. But other than that, I mean, even without Sifi, he's still going to be great. Our opponent left, we won. So let's get into some Plat Arena. Okay, so we're currently in Plat Arena. We are 350th, so we're not going to face the top end teams like Engine or some of the really big accounts. Not that we couldn't, we probably could. We may get our face smashed in, but it wouldn't highlight the proper showcase. What I do want to do though is I do want to showcase him going against Taras, right? So those are usually the teams that people have the most difficult with, or they unfortunately whine that Taras is too OP and he needs to be nerfed. So I'm going to show you exactly why Taras doesn't need to be nerfed and how Rotos is still the king of Arena, even though Taras is, quote unquote so powerful. Taras is great basically when, he's paired with Marichka. Without Marichka, he's not too much of a nuisance, right? So we're going to go ahead. We'll start off with the A1. Go ahead, another A1. Let's hopefully not burn off all our buffs, okay? Now, I want you guys to pay close attention to how long it takes for us to build our nukage from our A3, or from our passive, right? So we're going to go ahead and take the HP from the Duchess. We'll just put her to sleep. Now he is going to come in with his A3. Notice, he didn't really go anywhere, right? We're pretty solidly built here. So take out the Duchess. Now we have our A2 back up again. Unfortunately, the Uko is going to be weak affinity for us, but it is what it is. Okay, put the Uko to sleep. Again, the Taras is only a problem when he's with Marichka. When he's not with Marichka, we couldn't really care, honestly. There we go. We get another A2 right there. You can see that HP bar is building up pretty quickly, right? We'll go with A1 on him. Now, it is great that we have UDK on the team, but, if you have something else, I mean, everybody right now should have UDK. So there we go. Taras is out of here. He's basically done for us. We don't really care. We'll let him go off again. Now, one of the strategies that a lot of people have been doing, especially with Rotos, is that they will attack the Marichka so that the Rotos can proc more of the A2s, right? So we'll go ahead, take some HP from her. So at this point, we should now start being to block revive, right? One, there we go. So it took us about 4 turns to get the block revive up, right? Which is not really bad. But this is what I mean. Like, people are complaining that Taras is, super OP. Rotos is going to take him on every single time, right? We are not going to lose to Taras. That Uko, though, can be very, very annoying. There we go. We'll block revive her. There we go with that. And simple and easy, right? Let's go ahead. We'll take on this one that's got the double Duchess with... Actually, it's one of my clanmates, so it's a good thing it's not doing plat reset. But again, we're going to showcase that it's not really that bad for us. Here we go. We will go ahead and steal some enemy HP from him. We get extra turn. All right, we'll go ahead on that Duchess. Took her out. Steal more HP from him. We're basically back up to full health. We're not too concerned at this point. Having a double Duchess with the Veil is not always a great idea, guys, because the reason you want the Veil with the Duchess is so you can protect everybody else, so I can't attack them. So I'm forced to attack the Duchess with the Stone Skin. That's not going to happen here, right? One, I'm going to go ahead and steal some HP from Marichka. So, all right. Let's go ahead. No, stop attacking her. I want you to attack my Rotos. All right. There we go. Nope. UDK is doing his job. UDK is protecting, so that's great. But let's see. In this next one, I'll take out UDK. We'll do one more fight without UDK, and we'll put in an Ursuga or something else. Okay, so let's go ahead. Marichka. You see, almost there. We almost one-shot her with the A2, which is... Whew. We're just letting Taras, school as much as possible. All right, so at this point, we should start block reviving right there. Take out the Marichka again. Good. Right there. Okay. Pretty solid right there, actually. One shot the Rotos. Granted, the Rotos was kind of low on HP anyways, but nothing that our team could not survive. So go ahead and take this Duchess on. Come on. Wish the animations would be just much faster. All right. Take more HP from him. So at this point, we've fully built our HP up. The only reason we're taking it is just to heal back up, right? But we will start block reviving everybody. But you can see here, I mean, he's not really an issue for us, right? The Rotos is been able to keep him at bay. He killed us one time, but that was really it. Come on. Duchess is almost out. And this one's taking a little bit longer than expected, but all right. This is gonna take a lot longer than expected. She just got that off, so all right. Let's just throw in an auto and but anyways, so yeah, I mean it's really there we go. We got that off. Can we get there goes Duchess. There we go with him. We're gonna target the Marichka next. So we can get that HP and get her out of the way. But yeah, Rotos, I mean, again, he's been nerfed 3 times. He was hard nerfed, semi-hard nerfed when UDK came out. Really, really kind of negated what he could do. But still, I mean, he's not going to be a problem, right? or he is actually more of a problem than anybody else. As long as you put a good solid team around him, you'll be able to push plat if you want to, or you'll be able to basically take on anybody in arena. Pairing him with like a Helicath and a UDK just like this, you can see. He did almost 1 million damage. Taras did 1.4, right? And he doesn't have a single AoE attack. Let's take a look here and see. I want to see. Here we go. We have this one, right? And this one's got UDK in it, so it's going to show the fight with his max weakness, right? So we'll go ahead and throw it on auto. We'll aim for the Taras first. Again, we took a smack right there from the Taras. Did not move an inch, right? Again, the UDK, as you can see here, the opposing UDK shield is at about 30% on stone skin, so you can already tell that our Rotos is smacking pretty hard even through that shield, right? And we've now managed to get rid of the shield from UDK, so that's pretty good. Took a pretty hit shot right there from Taras, still managed to live. Granted, the first one did go into UDK. UDK now, again, is the worst nerf towards Rotos, but you can see we're still going at it with him. We just knocked him out, even though he is positive affinity for us, right? So Rotos is still the king. I don't care what anybody has to say. I don't care how much you think Taras is going to be so much stronger. He's only strong with Marichka, and I mean it's only for a certain amount of time. If you bring a Rotos in well built, he's going to dominate. Sheeny is a great example, right? Sheeny comes out with his Rotos, and if you don't have a UDK in, he's going to eat your arena team up just like that, right? He's going to just run right through you. So, again, it is taking us a little bit longer because of UDK. We're going to get some weak hits and stuff in, but you can see here, we're still not going to have a problem. I believe this is at the point where the next A3 from Rotos is going to stop block reviving. So we'll see who we're going to block revive first. Come on. Now, some of the ways you can build Rotos is going to be dependent on your account. There we go. We block revive him. But, Savage Cruel is basically the best sets for him. You could build him in Lifesteal as well, too, when you're early on. It is actually kind of fun. And then you could also build him in Relentless. I have seen it, especially in Live Arena. It does come in kind of helpful, right? Getting as many of those A3s and A2s in as possible. And, if you're proccing A1, A1, A3, A1, A3, A1, A3 is pretty good, pretty fun. And the opponent doesn't expect it, right? Everybody expects you to gear him in a Savage Cruel or Lethal with, any other damage dealing set, right? But Fatal, there we go. Even Pythion is not standing a chance. Again, that's the third one we've taken when Taras has had 4 buffs. We have not died. We have not moved, right? And again, we're not going up against accounts that are, new player accounts and stuff like that. We are going up against decent size accounts. So block revive, everybody. So let me show you guys the build. All right, so when building Rotos, you want to put them in your best damage set, right? So you put them in Fatal, Lethal, Cruel, Savage, whatever the best damage gear on your account is what you want to put him in, right? Now, when gearing him, we currently have him in a Savage and Cruel, right? But when building him out, you want to take a couple of things into account, right? HP is actually very beneficial for Rotos, right? Even if it's flat HP substats, it's still better than some of the other ones, right? So ideally, you want to build him with about minimum 50,000 HP. Now, some of you are going to say, well, I can't do 50,000 HP and 5,500 K attack. You don't really have to, right? The HP, the way it's calculated, I believe it's for every 1,000 HP, he gains, I think it's like 100 attack or something to that vicinity. I don't know the exact number, but he is built both ways, right? So 50k HP, because you want to make sure that he's not just going to get nuked if somebody comes in with a 2-hitter, right? Unless it's like a Georgette who's going to come in and do a multi-hitter, or a Rhonda. Those are pretty much going to be the only things. But you want to make sure that you have enough HP to stand whatever comes at you. So 50k is a good baseline. As for the attack, build it up as much as you can. If you can get it to 5,000, 4,000, I do have some Rotoses on other accounts where they're built with about 3.5, 4,000k attack, but they're still sustaining that 50,000 HP. As for defense, the more the better. Because of his passive, you're gonna have a very difficult time trying to one-shot him, right? So you don't really have to worry about it too much. As long as you bring in like a solid reviver that can bring him back up, you should be fine. But if you can get it to about 2.5, that's decent, right? Now, the problem that most players are going to have is the speed. And I see it a lot on accounts where they build him really, really slow. You can't do that with Rotos, right? Rotos is one of those champions that needs the speed. So 200 and above is what's best. Honestly, if you can get it to 225, 230, you're even better, right? Even for this build, he's still too slow. I'd like to get him closer to like 250. I've seen some Rotoses that are close to like almost 300 speed with way better gear than what I have and way better stats, right? Crit rate, we do want to be at 100%. Crit damage, 286. Again, the highest you can, the better. We don't care about resistance, and we definitely do not want any accuracy, right? So make sure 50k HP, as much attack as you can, over 200 speed, ideally 215 is what I like to see minimum on some accounts, but the more you can have, the better, right? I get a lot of new players aren't going to have that kind of speed, but just make sure you're not making them at like 140, 150 speed, right? Because then he'll never take a turn, and when he does, it's going to be too late for you, right? Even if you got to sacrifice a little bit on the HP and the attack, trying to get to that 200 speed is great. Crit rate and crit damage, right? So as for skills, we do have them fully booked, right? You're not going to shy away from books. Phantom Touch is the blessing to take. Now, there is some other ones you can take, right? Depending on how high it is. You could take Soul Reap. You could take, I believe it's Word of the Fallen. Yep, right? Again, HP is actually pretty solid for him, right? So his damage does base off of HP. Sorry, had a brain fart right there. You can also take Lightning Cage, right? So there's a few different ones for him. As for masteries, we went down the offense and defense. Do not go down the support tree. Do not take any of the accuracy builds or anything like that unless you're going to build accuracy in for him. And if you are building accuracy for him, just delete the game and play something else. Sorry. You don't want to build any accuracy on your Rotos. You do want to go down to Helm Smasher, Kill Streak, Methodical, Cycle of Violence to decrease the cooldown because you are going to be smacking pretty hard. You do want to take Opportunist and Ruthless Ambush, right? So, yeah, that's pretty much about it, guys. Building your Rotos, again, make sure you build them fast, enough HP, even if you got to sacrifice a little bit of attack. I know I sound like a broken record, but he is still the king of nukers. He's not going anywhere. Even with UDK there, if he's solidly built, as you saw, he will take it all on. No problems, no questions asked. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, any comments, leave them down below, or feel free to DM me in Discord. And make sure to tune in on Sunday, where you can guys catch us on the live stream with myself and the rest of the content creators, where we'll be discussing a lot of things going on throughout the week. As always, guys, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.